Good morning, I'm Graham Lewis, and in this video we're going to look at two sequences, one going up and one going down, like 20, 18, 16, and we're going to look at for patterns and find the 100th term really easily. So have a think now, what's the 100th term of this sequence? 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. Can you get it within 10 seconds? I can. I'm going to show you how. So let's start, and of course it's going up by 3 each time. So we can put the first set of differences there is 3 each time. And then I've nicely summarized that in a table with 2 columns. And the reason for this is I want to look for patterns of how to get the next term from the first term. Always looking from the first term. So the first term is clearly 5. So we just write a 5. The second term is 8. Start with the first term. We're always going to start from the first term. And 5, I had to add my common difference there, 3, because 5 add 3 is 8. Let's have a look at the third term, 11. I start with the 5 and I add 2 lots of 3 now, 2 lots of the common differences. So 2 lots of 3. And you can see it works because 5 add 6 does in fact equal 11. I'll tell you a funny joke. It's early in the morning and I actually did it wrong first time, so this is my second attempt. So 14, start with the first term, 5. And you can see that I'm adding 1, 2, 3 lots of 3 to get there, which makes sense again because 5 add 9 is 14. And the final one, 17, in my table here, start with 5, always start with the first term, add 1, 2, 3, 4 lots of 3, and that makes 17. And you can see that we've got a pattern there. If I change this 3 here to 1 lot of 3, it might show the pattern more clearly. Okay, so let's have a look at what pattern we can see. It's always a 5. Add, this number's changing, it's going up by 1 each time. It starts at 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can see that the next number we're going to guess is going to be 5 plus 5 lots of 3, which is 20, and that's correct. So you can see that our pattern's working. But there's another pattern which will help us get the 100th number. And that is, look at this number here and compare it to the term number. What do you notice? So compare 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. I'm sure you've got it. It's 1 less, isn't it? So that means that if I want to get the 100th number using this super duper pattern, all I have to do is always start with the first number, 5, plus I've got to take 1 off 100 because obviously here it was a 4 when that was a 5. So I want 99 lots of 3. Okay. So let's work that out. Well, 99 lots of 3 is quite hard, but I can do 100 lots of 3s really easily, which is 300, and minus 3, and get 297. And then I add the 5 to the 297, and I actually get the answer there, which is 302. So look at that. Isn't that great? This method of doing it will really help you later on in mathematics when you come on to later years when you do arithmetic sequences and actually formulas for geometric sequences as well, looking for patterns in this way. So that's a really good method. Let's have a look at method 2 and then you decide which one you prefer. In this method, I've again written out the sequence in a table, a column table, but you don't need to do that. You could have left it as a row in the original question, but I'm going to do it this way just to show you. So this time, I'm going to look at the differences again and spot that it's going up by 3 each time. Because it's going up by 3 each time, you're repetitively adding 3, which we saw in the last pattern. But I know a times table that goes up by 3 each time. You've guessed it, the 3 times table. So if I write down the 3 times table, which we know is 3n, because when n is 1, my first number is 3 times 1 is 3. When n is 2, 3 times 2 is 6. When n is 3, 3 times 3 is 9. When n is 4, 3 times 4 is 12. And when n is 5, 3 times 5 is 15. So we know that 3n represents the 3 times table. So it's really easy to find the 100th number of the 3 times table. It's 3 times 100, 300, dead easy. But now compare your sequence, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, with the 3 times table. I'm sure you spotted it. your sequence is 2 bigger, isn't it? Absolutely, well done. So you can see that this number is 3, that's a 5. This is 6, that's an 8. This is a 9, that's an 11, etc. So if we want the 100th number, we know the 100th number of the 3 times table is 300, and we know that ours is 2 bigger, so it's 302. And for those interested, the formula, of course, would be 3n add 2. Okay, now it's your turn. I'm going to give you a harder one going down, and it works similarly. Okay, so here's a sequence, 20, 18, 16, 14, going down by 2 each time. I want you to now pause the video, try it yourself both ways. What's the 100th term? So do it one way using the pattern, always starting with the first number, and you should get a one less pattern going on like we did the first one. And then think about the times table going down by 2 each time, which is the negative 2 times table. So pause the video, give it a try, and then I'll go through the solution for you. So let's do it the first way, which we know will help you later on in your mathematics. So you always start with the first term, 20. So on the second term number there, we start with 20 and we minus 1 lot of 2. You remember that, we learned minus 1 lot of 2. 16, we start with 20, and clearly from 20 we have to minus 2 lots of 2. And then the next one is minus 3 lots of 2. So you can see it's very similar to the last one we did. The next one would be minus 4 lots of 2. Very similar. Oops, that should be lots there. Multiply 4 lots of 2. So the 100th term would be similarly starting with 20, and as before, it's 99 lots of 2. 1 less. And we can work that out because, oh, I wrote a 200. I don't know what I'm doing. It's early in the morning here. Apologies. Many apologies. So 20 minus 100 times 2 is 200. So minus 198. And I think I get a 1. A minus 178 there. So that's method 1. So let's check the method 2. We're going down by 2 each time. If I show that on the sequence, I'm not going to make another table. We're going down by 2 each time. So it's similar to the minus 2 times table. I'm going to write the minus 2 times table above, just doing it a bit differently to the one I did. And notice that this is the minus 2 times table, minus 2n, minus 2 times 1 is minus 2, minus 2 times 2 is minus 4, minus 2 times 3 is minus 6, etc. Ours is very similar. It's going down by 2 each time. But what do you have to add to minus 2 to get to 20? What do you have to add to get from minus 4 to 18? Because our sequence is bigger than the minus 2 times table. And I'm sure you've guessed it, it's 22 bigger. So minus 2 add 22 gives me 20. Minus 4 add 22 gives me 18. So this formula is times the term number by minus 2 and add 22. And let's try it. So minus 2 times 100, add 22 equals minus 200, add 22, giving me, thankfully, the same answer, minus 178. So I either got it wrong the same twice or I got it right the same twice. Don't worry, I got it right. Okay, that's it. That's sequences and patterns in a nutshell. Enjoy and good luck with your mathematics. And if you like my videos, subscribe and watch any others. Okay, have a great day.